Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here, and I'm very sorry I haven't been able to make a video. Been very busy at work. I've been doing 6 a.m. shifts, and I've been trying to get some sleep and making sure that I'm able to be fully functional for work. Now, this is one of my first videos today. I'm gonna be doing maybe a couple of more. I'm gonna be looking at the last few episodes of Arrow up to its series finale and catch up on a lot of episodes I could not get to. I'll be doing that all day today. I'm not gonna be playing that many video games. I'm gonna be pretty much just catching up on my stuff and be able to make some videos talking about Arrow, talking about the Flash and what's been going on the DC side of the TV section. Now, my boy Subjective Reviews just did a video. I'm gonna be doing a reaction to his video, and I'm gonna be doing it afterwards to catch up on some news I know he's been able to do. There's a few other things I want to talk about. This is gonna be pretty long, only because a lot of stuff has been happening, and I've been reading a little bit about it, and I want to do it all in one go. One of them is to reiterate about the situation that happened about Ezra Miller and the Flash situation. There's a lot of misconception news out there that about who was behind the whole situation and what's been going on. What I truly think about it, and also do I think this is positive and this is negative. I'm also hearing some news about the Birds of Prey, the early reactions to it. I'm gonna give you my personal opinion about it. And also anything that's been retained to the Snyder Cut. Now, this is also the Snyder. This is a little bit about the Snyder Cut, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about it. This is not me putting down subjective reviews. No, this is me actually reacting to his video. I'm probably gonna be doing a couple of these once in a while, also mainly because um, time. It's a lot about the time. I gotta focus on what's going on in my day job, and also put the responsibility there. But I do want to be responsible to let you guys know that there is content coming out from my side of the opinion, and I hope that you guys enjoy. All right, so I'm gonna be playing this. I'm not gonna have it bubble down, but I will link it into the description down below, so you guys can be able to follow it also and understand what's going on and what he's talking about. Now, I'm gonna be pausing it and give you my opinion about what he's talking about and reiterating certain others things. So let's get into it and let's see what he has to talk about. Okay.
So the early social media reactions to Birds of Prey are actually really good. I was definitely surprised by that.
Okay. So he's gonna go right into the bat about the Birds of Prey um, reviews. Now I heard it was mixed reviews, and I also heard it was positive reviews. Now here's my personal opinion. Actually, you know what? Let's see what he has to say, and I'm gonna see if I agree or disagree, so we can figure out so we can be on the consensus.
What's going on, my DC fans? Welcome back to another episode. Let's just get right into it. The social media embargo lifted the other day, or where you can do your social media reactions. Very short, just reactions to the Birds of Prey movie. And so far, from what I saw, a bunch of them are good. I think there might be a couple negative ones. But as we've learned before, these don't really mean anything. I mean, they're a good start for this movie. So it's going in the right direction. This movie could be a surprise hit. The reason I say that is because if all the females go out to see this movie, a rated R female teen movie, this movie could make a bunch of money. I just don't know. I don't know where this movie is going to land. Me personally, I feel somewhere between 300 to 500 million, but it could just do very well and just, the sky's the limit. I don't know, but I'm hoping that the reviews for this movie are fairly good, because then that means we have another good reviewed movie for the DCEU, which makes the DCEU look that much better, and it's another win for the team. But yes, early reactions are good to the movie, are great. That's awesome. Happy to hear it, because again, I will be there. I'll be there day one. Of course, I want to see a good movie. I don't want to see a shit movie. So anytime you can give me a DC movie that's good, I'll be happy. I'm pumped to see it now, and I will let you guys, like I said, I will let you guys know next Friday how it is, because I'm going to see it Thursday. With that being said, I'm hearing that apparently tomorrow, or today, sometime today, in the DC universe, or you pay for the streaming service, they are going to give you an early screening of Birds of Prey if you want to see it. I guess you have to pay or go somewhere in your local area. You might have to drive a little bit to go, but you get to see it early if you want to. And I believe they're going to be for like next Tuesday. So a couple days before it comes out on Friday, you'll be able to see Birds of Prey early if you want to, and if you have the streaming service, that's going to be available to you. Okay, guys.
Okay. All right. So he switched subjects. Okay. So what he was talking about is that there's positive reviews and there's also from what I heard there's also some mixed reviews. Now there's a lot of things that's been talking about this movie. Ewan McGregor already talked about that Black Mask is gay. Um, and that so is Victor Zaz. Like they're gay. Um, Again, those are one of the things that I feel that they're pandering. Um, I don't like it. I personally do not like it. I don't like them changing a character just to suit a narrative that makes absolutely no sense to the character. Um, um, but again, I'm watching this movie because I love Margot Robbie. She's a very fun lady. She does deserve a lot of credibility. She's a great actress, and she did not betray the ambiance of who Harley is. She's a very spunky girl and she's psychotic. She's true psychotic. And she tries to do everything she can to imitate what Arlene Sorkin and even what Tara Strong did in their interpretations. And she took it to a whole new level and made it and tried to make it her own character. And I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly okay with it. This is honestly a mixture of the animated series TAS Harley and a majority of the New 52 Harley. So we have to really kind of lean back a little bit because this is a character that's been around for by about 20 years. So she's a relatively new character. And on top of that, if it wasn't for the animated series, we would never have gotten her. So if Paul Dini and Bruce Timm are okay with them doing this to the character. Paul Dini kind of doesn't like the way that DC's been making her into a seductive slut in his own personal opinion. And I agree with him on that. She was never portrayed as that. She's portrayed as a girl next door type that basically is cute, adorable, but she's psychotic. And they turn her more into this into basically a sex bot basically, and to get to to prop more sales, and that's understandable. It's a business, and I understand that. I completely understand that, and I know Bruce Timm and Paul Dini understand that too. Um, and that's what DC has been running with this character for this long time, has been doing to her. I agree with Bruce Timm. I agree with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. It's kind of like, what the heck are you doing? It's like taking a teenager and growing her up 15 years within 2 days. And it's like, what the heck are you doing? You're turning her into something that she's really deep down is not. But it's the way it is. It's the way they have to do the business, and that's how they got to do it. Um, my personal opinion is I still say to this day I think that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is not a good huntress. She does not look like somebody that can really take out a room full of people. I don't like Smollett Bell as Black Canary. Um, I think there was a miscast with Cassandra Cain. Um, but I think the spot on was Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya because regardless or not, Rosie Perez in a way can do a very damn good Renee Montoya. Now Renee Montoya is gay, so how are they going to do that? Like there's no reason to turn Black Mass gay when you already have a pre-made gay character in Renee Montoya. She was always in the closet. She never wanted to come out. She never did wanted to come out about being gay, but it slowly did when the whole situation. I think it was after when she was going on a drinking binge, and when Vic Sage was dying from cancer and she became the new question, she started to say, you know what? It's always been about the questions. She's a detective. She's a damn good detective. Not in the level of Vic Sage. Vic Sage is quite possibly a better detective than even Batman, and that should tell you the type of person he is. Now, my only thing about this movie is I hope that they don't make gender mistakes, if you understand what I mean. And what I mean by gender mistakes is that they make it where the men are just dumb as doorknobs and the women are smarter and better than them. That to me that's off-putting. To me that's off-putting. Yeah, you can have girl power. Listen, one of the best girl power movies out there is still to this day that really represents women empowering themselves is Thelma and Louise. They didn't make the men dumb. They really didn't. They all they did was is they made them into a way that represents the way women have been portrayed. And it's not because the men are dumb, it's because some men feel that they're the alpha males and they have to docile the women. And that's what they did in Thelma and Louise. I think it was Thelma was in an abusive relationship, and she and her girlfriend went onto this a road trip, and it turned itself into a spiraled situation where they basically at the end of the movie, spoiler, they ran right off the cliff. I watched the movie. The movie was awesome. The movie was really good. I really liked it. Uh, I mean, it was a really damn good movie. Susan Sarandon, and I forgot my girl's name, Gina Davis. Gina Davis, and this was Brad Pitt, one of Brad Pitt's first movies. So you see a young Brad Pitt in a damn movie. So that's how you do a girl power movie, and you make it into a vein where the men could be men, and these are gangsters. So they're not gonna look at women as, you are at our equal. And I rather for them to be ruthless men, and this is Harley. This is Harley, this is Black Canary, and this is also Huntress. So you don't have to make the men dumb or incompetent just to show that these ladies are actually capable of doing what they got to do. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. And I really, really, really hope that they don't they make it where Black Mask is so incompetent. He's that stereotypical bad guy that just does the mustache twirling. That's not Black Mask. That's not Adrian Sedanis. And that's a piss poor way of introducing this character, in my personal opinion. However, if this is separate from the DCEU, great. Leave it away from the DCEU. Let's get us an appropriate Black Mask, and let's introduce Black Mask so people can go, wow, this is Black Mask. Yes, this is the way Black Mask is supposed to be portrayed. He's not a goofy villain. To me, this feels like a DC version of a mix between Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, and that's bad. It feels like this is so cheesy that people just want to laugh at it, and that's perfectly fine. You want to make it into a huge level of comedy, that's perfectly fine. And but you can't get angry at people like myself for saying this is crap. You can't get mad at us for that, because all you gotta say is, well, it just means it's not your cup of tea. That's okay. Let's just hope that they create another version that'll appeal to you. That is the whole purpose of having genres. You can't have it where everybody has to like the same thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's what we all need to look at. I'm not saying that I'm not going to see Birds of Prey. Just like Subjective Review says, he's in it to see this movie. He wants to see it. He wants to judge it for himself. We should take anything with a lot of these reviews as a grain of salt. Who the hell cares? We're the ones who are paying our hard-earned money. Why am I allowing someone else to tell me what to think about a movie? I'm not telling you guys, and let me tell you how to go watch this movie. What I'm telling you is, from my opinion, I personally don't like these certain things. However, and I've said this before in many other videos, I'm willing to give this movie 100% credibility to change my mind. I want to watch it for Margot Robbie. I love Margot Robbie. The woman is beautiful, she's gorgeous, she's talented, and she knows what she wants, and she's gonna do everything she can to keep Harley relevant in the movie medium. And Ewan McGregor is a great actor. The only problem is in my personal opinion, even as a great actor, he can't pull off an Italiano. He can't. He's Scottish. You should have gotten someone like Antonio Sabato Jr. Me and Hawk talked about this. Hawk is busy doing his thing, and I told him, like I'm gonna tell you guys. I told you guys he's doing his own personal things. He has to take care of a lot of things in his life, and he wants to come back. But I said we got to make it work. I don't want to have it where, I got a 40-hour job. He has a 40-hour job. He has to get to work. I have to get to work. We have to make sure that the time commingles, and also me and him got to basically talk to each other. We can't just say, hey, let's jump on this podcast and do this and run a podcast. I rather get to, me and him catch up. and then we, after a while, then we can actually catch up and then get back into the podcast. And he agrees to that, and I don't want to rush job anything. So it's no rush. He's working very hard. I'm working very hard. We're trying to work everything out to make sure that his everything in his situation is perfectly taken care of. Okay, that's where Hawk is. But he doesn't like this movie. He doesn't like it. He hates it. He has his own personal beliefs about it. But me personally, I'm a little bit more bendy than that. I want to go see this. I want to judge it for myself. He knows how I feel about Batman. Batman is my second favorite hero of all time. I do not want Batman done ill properly. I don't like Robert Pattinson as Batman. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. You should not care how I think either, and that's perfectly okay. But we should come to a consensus that I will watch this movie and judge it. Okay, there's certain aspects to Robert Pattinson's look that does not fit Bruce Wayne. It doesn't fit Bruce Wayne. So we have to see. We have to see how Matt Reeves does this. There's a lot of things in here that makes me go, "Oh my god." But I will talk about the whole Batman situation. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty long one, and I want it pretty long because there's a lot of things I want to catch up on, and I want to be able to talk about it and then get it all out there. So like I want to review again. Like he says, let's judge the movie for what it is. Who cares what these reviews are? A lot of them are positive, some are not that good. That's okay. I'm hearing mixed reviews, and I still don't care. I want to see the movie because I'm willing to give all these women, even the young girl who's playing as Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain's one of my favorite freaking out of all the Bat families. She's one of my favorites. I love that character. I love the concept of the character. She's mute, but she's a killing machine. And she's based her whole martial arts style off of body language. She can fight off of someone's body language in a way that even Batman can't do it. So the girl is extraordinarily talented, and on top of that, her backstory is phenomenal. I just feel that Donnie Brasco's niece, and if you guys don't know who Donnie Brasco is, that's the kid who played his freaking Rufio in Hook. He played Rufio in Hook. I love the guy. I do. I love Donnie Brasco. I just feel that his niece is not the right person. A Filipino girl playing as a Chinese girl? Come on, man. That's not cool. Why can't you get a Chinese girl? A Chinese girl that knows martial arts. There's tons of them. There's tons. Go to Hong Kong and go get a young actress around the age of 14 to 16 to portray Cassandra Cain that knows martial arts, or a gymnast that knows martial arts. It's not that hard. That's where I kind of went, come on, man. But still, I'm willing to give this young actress an opportunity to prove me wrong. Who is this girl? Is she going to be a great Cassandra Cain? Because she's eventually going to become Orphan or Batgirl. We don't know yet. We don't know if this universe is going to continue. But let's see how they do it, okay? So let's move on to his next statements, and let's see what he has to say. Now, this is about 8 minutes, and we're already about 20 minutes in the whole situation. So let's see what he has to say for his next one.
Again, not really much going on with the Snyder Cut. The posters are constantly coming out, and again, they just look fantastic. They're great. I love all the great ideas. But something that I just saw on Twitter, and we talk a lot about Sean O'Connell. He works for Cinema Blend. He's a journalist and blogger too. He does movie reviews, and he's getting heavily involved in the Snyder Cut. He went to the London premiere of Birds of Prey, and he went to like some screen junkets and everything, and he interviewed the cast and crew, and he said today or yesterday on Twitter, he said that he met with Jim Lee off the record. He said in the tweet that he asked Jim Lee or talked to Jim Lee about the Snyder Cut, which is huge, right? And I know, see, Sean's a great guy, and everyone, of course, in the comments was like, what did he say? What's going, are we getting, are we not? And Sean's like, I'm not talking. I literally said off the record. And that just shows you the character of this guy. He won't even, give you any indication of what Jim said. He won't say if it was good or bad. But what I will tell you, which is a great thing, is we all need to watch his Twitter now. He's campaigning for the release of Snyder Cut. His pinned tweet is the Zack Snyder doesn't exist photo of the canisters. So, yes, he's Team Snyder Cut. So, now it's going to be very interesting to see how he changes his approach. Okay? Because if he was talking to Jim Lee and Jim Lee gave him indication, like, yes, it's coming this year, or, again, we just don't know. Maybe Jim Lee was like, it's not coming out for a couple years, right? So then you would see Sean back off of the issue. Or maybe down the line, someone's bringing up Snyder Cut stuff and Sean responds and goes, and, just kind of gives a remark like, we're not sure if it's coming or not. Then we can be like, oh shit, whatever Jim Lee told him was not good. But I don't think that's going to happen because that we know the Snyder Cut is coming. Now it's just a matter of when. So that's why I'm saying that if it's coming very soon, then you're going to see Sean in hyperdrive. And we need to watch that. We need to watch his Twitter. He's going to be in hyperdrive. I believe he knows something. He knows something from Jim Lee. If he was like off the record, I believe Jim spilled it out, told him what the plan was. Because Jim Lee knows. He knows he's higher up, definitely in the DC universe. DC, he is like the man. So, like I said, watch his Twitter, and I'll be watching it to see how he reacts to Snyder Cut situations now. To see what he says. Because that's going to be a huge indication. Because what if Jim told him that it's not happening, it's donezo, Zack's not coming back, nothing, just it's a dead issue. Then Sean would step off the pedal and he would change his approach completely. And then we would know something's up. But again, like I said, watch his Twitter account. I'll be there. Good stuff. Exciting stuff.
Okay. Now that's actually some good news. And I mean good on a few facts. One, he's right. Jim Lee has all the answers. He's the CCO. He is the chief creative officer of all of DC Entertainment and DC comic books. So he has the same job as what Jeff Johns was. He's the go-between. He is the guy that DC Entertainment could go to and say, hey, we want to do this movie. Let's say right off the bat, he says, hey, you know what? We want to do this movie about The Question. We want to do an introductory movie, an animated movie about it. And Jim Lee can go, no. Sorry, no, we don't want to do that. And they go, well, what do you mean? He goes, no. How about we do something about Batgirl? They go, but we kind of don't. He goes, no, I think we could do. Well, we can't do it with Question. I'm sorry. So he can literally tell them yes or no. And so he goes, I don't think that's how it works. Yes, it does. That's what Jeff Johns' role was when he was CCO. He told either DC Entertainment yes or no. Remember, he was also a producer on a lot of these movies also. Jim Lee is the same thing, but Jim Lee is more of, do what you guys got to do. He wants to see these characters out there. He wants to see the creativity flow. This guy's an artist. Jeff Johns a writer, but this guy's an artist. He understands. And that's what gives me a lot more lead back with Jim Lee than I've ever do with Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns was trying to be freaking Kevin Feige, and that was the worst decision he could ever do. He should have been a writer and said, hey, you know what? Let's just see these characters out there. Let's just get these movies out there and just make movies. No, everyone wants to blame WWB. Put all the blame on WB. No. Everyone wants to put all the blame on Jeff Johns. No. Everyone wants to put the blame on Zack Snyder. No. Don't put the blame on one person. Put the blame on everybody. Zack Snyder came in and told them what he wanted to do. They agreed to it because of Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan said, no, this guy can make Superman look like a monster out there. This guy has the creative mind to get it done. That's fact. That's fact. That cannot be disputed. WB wanted Christopher Nolan to do a Superman movie. Christopher Nolan said no. After the whole situation with The Dark Knight, after the whole situation with Heath Ledger, he did his movie. He's like, I don't want to be a part of it. He don't want to be a part of it. So he came on as an executive producer and said, no, I got the perfect guy. Let's go get Zack Snyder. That man can make a picture look like a movie picture. He's a great director. He pitched everything about what Zack Snyder wanted to do to WB. WB said they had the confidence because of Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan was an executive producer on Man of Steel. He was there. He kept WB away from the movie because he put his confidence into Zack Snyder's work. But when he walked away to go do Dunkirk, I'm sorry, when he walked away to go do Dunkirk, people go, no. I said, no, he left to go do Dunkirk. That's when Zack Snyder was gonna do Batman v Superman. He had a whole mapped out plan. He told everybody in WB, this is what I wanted to do. They said, hey, this seems pretty cool. Let's do it. But then you get freaking stupid Jeff Johns in the mix. He becomes CCO. He starts going on the set telling Zack, no, this is not how Superman is. Zack Snyder's like, what the hell are you talking about? This is Superman. This is the way I wanted to do this. And this is what happened. This is this is not what happened. This is what I think happened. Jeff Johns went to WB and started voicing his concerns because he felt that Zack Snyder is missing the point on Superman. This is not the Superman that the people want to see. He started pitching that whole nonsense about Richard Donner's version of Superman, and it made WB nervous. Zack Snyder came to him and said, "Okay, I'm finished my movie. It's about 3 hours long. It's about 3 hours long. I had to cut it down from 4 because." And then they came in and said, no, he wanted to do 2 movies. He wanted to do a part 1 and a part 2. He wanted to introduce the whole situation about Batman. And the second movie was all about Batman and Superman's rise to becoming the hatred, and then them falling down into the pits, and they have their battle. WB got extraordinarily nervous. They said, no. Okay, you know what? Let's scrap all this. Let's do one movie. Let's just keep it simple. Zack was like, but this is simple. Again, this is my personal opinion. From everything we have witnessed, these are facts. Zack wanted to do 2 movies. He wanted to do Man of Steel, Batman v Superman Part 1, Batman v Superman Part 2, Justice League Part 1, and Justice League Part 2. That was his 5-arc movie. He wanted to break BVS into 2 movies. He wanted to introduce Superman, get him into the situation with Lex, get that whole thing, and then he wanted to have their massive battle in the second movie. He was going to leave it off at a massive cliffhanger about Superman and Batman. And then he plotted Superman's death. He wanted Superman to die, and then he was going to introduce this whole situation with the Justice League, get them all in there. And then everything we all know about how he wanted to do Justice League was all in there. People said it was going to be 3 movies. It brought it down to 2. It made more sense if it was 2 because he wanted to do Batman v Superman in 2 movies. That was the original concept. Then he put it in 1 movie and said, okay, fine, I'll do Justice League in 3 parts. He wanted to introduce the Justice League. The second movie was their deaths and the whole nightmare sequence, and the third movie was them going to Apocalypse. That was his 3-part movie in the Justice League, and to unite the Justice League to fight against Darkseid and defeat Darkseid. And then he said, fine, he'll do BVS in the 1-part movie, a huge movie, because it was a critical movie. It was going to introduce all these nuances, all these networks into how he was going to do Justice League. But when he had to break BVS into 1 movie, he had to do Justice League into 3 parts so he can finish off the rest of his movie. That's fact. He originally wanted to do BVS into 2 movies. But then he came in and they completely said, no, let's merge this all into 1 movie. Let's keep it simple. When BVS did not get the critical acclaim that it was supposed to get, and they made him cut it down to 2.5 hours. People thought it was muddled. People had problems with the Martha scene. People didn't understand what the hell this nightmare sequence was about. They had no concept because honestly, the journalists, also the people in the WB, Jeff Johns, Walter Hamada, Toby Emmerich, Diane Nelson, all of them, Deborah and Zach just sat back and were like, dude, what the heck is going on here? What the heck is going on here? Deborah is the boss of the whole of his production company. She has to keep the corporate line, or they're not going to make any money. I don't fully blame Deborah Snyder at all either. I put her in the midst of the blame, but I don't put her at the full blame at all. She should have told WB, no, I'm standing behind my husband. I'm standing behind our original product. We need to keep it the way it originally was concepted. Let my husband finish his dang movie. It's done. Let's put it out there. And we'll walk away. Clean slate. But she agreed to all this. She agreed to bring Joss Whedon into this. Because I guarantee you, Toby Emmerich and the rest of them were trying to tell her, we need to get this movie out there. We need to do this, or we're not going to make our bonuses. We know this. It's fact. They rush jobbed this movie, even though Joss Whedon was doing it. That's why it felt like a Frankenstein of a movie. Or they would have took out almost all of freaking Zack Snyder's footages. They would have took it all out. It would have been a completely different movie than what we saw in the trailers. It was already, but we saw nits and pieces of Zack Snyder's work. That's how John Aaron Garza was able to point out, hey, wait a minute, this isn't Zack Snyder's film. That's how a lot of us started to realize it. Because what they did is they hit our nostalgia point. I'm willing to admit it. I actually like the Justice League. I still got the dang movie. I have never watched it. I watched it twice. Never watched it after that. Because John Aaron Garza made me realize, wait a minute, this isn't Zack Snyder's work. And we started looking at all this missing footages, and Zack was doing all those those little nitty gritty bits and pieces of saying, dude, this is not my work. People are asking about Vero. Hey, you were doing this? What the hell is that about? Libgate. So, yes, I'm sorry, I don't want to go into a huge tirade, but this is the thing. You can't blame just Jeff Johns. It's everybody. Everybody. I even lump Zack into this. I love the guy. I do. I love Zack Snyder. I'm not saying that all of us should blame Zack Snyder for this. No, what I'm saying is Zack is a caring man. He did not have to do the SnyderCon thing. He didn't have to do that. He did it to sit down with the fans so they can literally talk to him and see these movies with the man that created this movie and get some great commentary. You got to love the man for that. Not many directors do that. There are a handful of directors that will sit down at his alma mater school and sit there and watch 3 days of movies, of his biggest cut movies, and literally sit down with the fans and answer questions. Not many directors do that. They're too freaking busy. Or nah. Or they think the fans are going to ask him so many freaking questions and he's going to muddle himself up. Zack knows what the hell he wants to say. He knows exactly how he wants to say it. He said it right there. Wake the fuck up. You're living in a fucking dream world when it comes to these happy-go-lucky superheroes. That's not what comic books are about. Comic books are supposed to give you a self-reflection of what's going on out there so you get a good understanding of how to be able to interpret it in here. He made Superman human because that's how Superman is supposed to be portrayed. He's supposed to be a human man that has the powers of a god, not the other way around. These are gods who are trying to be mortals. Marvel does mortals trying to be like gods. They're bigger than life. That's how Marvel has always portrayed their superheroes. They are bigger than life. While on DC, they have these bigger than lives that just want to have menial lives. They don't want to. They just want to be regular people. Superman has always wanted to be a regular person. But you have to do what Zack Snyder did for us to get an understanding of that. And no one wanted that understanding. They just want to see Superman just doing Superman things. That's okay. Say it. Don't hide behind it. They hide behind all the rhetoric that we've been hearing about in BVS. So yes, I do blame Zack Snyder for he should have just stood up for his movie. The moment he was about to walk away, he should have put a complete, legitimate stipulation into that movie and said, no, I think I know what you guys are doing. You're going to finish this movie. You're going to bring it out the way it's supposed to be intended. Have him finish whatever I put down, or we're going to court. Now people say, well, he was fired. Fired? He can't be fired. If he was fired, they never would have put his name on it. Never. They never would have put his name on it. They don't have to agree to it. Listen, that's what they did with freaking Superman 2. Lister did the movie. They did not say it was Richard Donner's Superman. They called it Lister. He was the director. Richard Donner was fired. So you can't say that Zack Snyder was fired. He couldn't have been fired. They don't have the right to put his name on it. And that's why I say that his wife was actually involved in all of that. Again, I'm not saying that we should blame all of it on Deborah. We should add her into the mix. But this is a business. That's the problem. That's the problem. And I wish that a lot of us would just stop saying that it's WB's fault. It's WB's fault. It's not WB's fault. WB is a freaking corporation that wants to make money. I blame everybody for what happened with Justice League. Somebody should have stood up. I blame Ben. I blame Ben Affleck. He should have stood up for Zack. He should have been like, no, I'm not doing this. You can fire me all you want. That means this movie has to be redone. I quit. Bring this movie out the way it's supposed to be intended. He should have rallied Henry. He should have rallied Jason, Gal, Ezra, Ray, everybody. All the cast should have said no. No. Bring out this movie the way it's supposed to be intended. But they all stood that corporate in line. They had their future movies in risk. This movie would never have been there. It never would have been no risk. No risk. Stand up for it. That's why we're where we are right now. Henry was already long gone. He was long gone. He was already doing Fallout. But I still blame him for it. I blame them. Underneath, I still blame them. Jason Momoa is doing everything he possibly can to let people know that cut does exist. It exists. And he wants to see it. You guys should see it too. But he was doing Aquaman. He left months ago. Months ago. Then he came back and did all those retooled scenes. That's why his eyes are freaking completely different. But deep down, a lot of them knew. But Jim Lee's the only one that would know. He is in charge of DC Comics. He's in charge of a lot of the go-between between what's okay with DC Entertainment and what's okay in DC Comics. He is the chief editor. He is the man in charge of all of it. So was Jeff Johns. So don't tell people that, no, you're wrong. No, Jim Lee doesn't have the power. Yes, he does. He has the same power as Jeff Johns. That's why they fired Jeff Johns. DC Entertainment fired Jeff Johns from his position. They told him either leave or leave. Walk away from this position or we will force you out of the whole thing. He took the firing. He said, nope, I'll take a demotion. He's just a producer on a lot of his stuff. He still works for DC Comics, but I guarantee you a lot of them feel like, dude, what the hell you do? He lost a little respect. You bring Jim Lee into the mix, Jim Lee's a bigger picture type of dude. He knew that, oh my God, dude, you screwed this whole thing up. That's why he allowed Kathy Yan to do what he wanted to do. That's why he's allowing Matt Reeves to do what he wants to do. He's saying, no, do what you guys got to do. Let's make these movies. Let's get these movies out there. We'll concentrate on a universe a little bit later. Hopefully. So why the heck are people saying that he doesn't have the power? He does have the power. He could tell DC Entertainment, no, I don't want to do it. He's the one that can say, no, I want to do a Booster Gold / blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you he's one of the main reasons why we're getting possibly two Superman TV shows. He can say, no, I don't want to do that. That's stupid. But he's saying, no, get the content out there. Get the stuff out there. Let the people freaking watch it. That's all he wants to see. That's more money in their pockets. Then they can take some of that money and actually add it to a lot of other things. Better freaking technology for some of the episodes. More episodes. More stuff to the DC streaming service. More content. He's thinking of the bigger picture. Come on, people. So now let's get down to the whole situation with the Snyder Cut. Now, Jim Lee knows the Snyder Cut exists. I'm sorry, he does. I mean, if he doesn't know, then what the heck? I mean, get him out of there then. But I know he knows. He knows about the Snyder Cut. This man said that he loved BVS. He loved BVS. He said it felt literally like the Dark Knight. It felt like the Dark Knight Returns. He had no problem with it. So again, I'm sorry. So again, I don't want to hear that. Well, Jim Lee, I don't know if he's on our side. He is on our side. But like I just stated about a few minutes ago, he has to think of the bigger picture. He can't just say to DC or WB, screw you, we're bringing out the Snyder Cut. He can't do that. They'll laugh at him. They'll be like, no, prove it. Prove that you can make this money. That's what he's doing. He's saying, no, TV shows. You want to do Superman? Fine, you get do Superman show or 2. You want to do this Crisis event? Fine. Do it. You want to do a Birds of Prey movie? Who's going to be in it? This. So this is going to be on the shade of what we were doing with David Ayers? Okay, fine. Let's do it. Okay, do it. He's a creative officer. He says yes to any usable of any characters. But he understands that there's no way we're going to put Batman on a TV show. There's no way. It's too big. They want him on the big screen. I guarantee you deep down he wants to do a Batman TV show. He wants to do it. It's too long to do a Batman TV show. The last live action Batman TV show we had was in freaking 1966. We need a live action Batman TV show. But the corporate heads at WB and even AT&T are agreeing that no way, you cannot do a Batman TV show on this climate. We need to have him on the big screen. We got to get the big money. So again, Jim Lee knows a lot of what's going the heck on. But he's in the same boat as Walter Hamada. Prove it. Prove you can make the money. And they'll give him more leniences to do what the heck he wants. Same goes for Walter Hamada. Same goes for Ann Sarnoff. They have to prove it to the stockholders and the shareholders and AT&T that they can make the money. How hard is this? I don't want to go into a rant. I don't want to go into an argument with the fans here. But you guys, we got to calm down. This is a business. Yes, to make the business better, they should bring out the cut. They should, yes. I understand that. I understand that more than any of you. Yes, bring out the cut. I'm not saying no to it. However, if we want to see 100% completed with full visual effects, we want to see that. We want to see that score. We want to see Zack Snyder put in the finishing touches. We want to see this. We want to see that. Then we gotta support these other movies. Again, I'm not saying that you have to go see Birds of Prey. If you feel like Birds of Prey is a piece of shit, good. If you don't want to go see it, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. But it's not okay for you to jump on social media and lambaste people who want to go see this movie. Go see it. Let other people decide for themselves. You want to boycott WB? Go ahead. No one is stopping you. Boycott it. That's perfectly fine. If people laugh at you, stand firm. Go, okay, well, fine. That's okay. I want to see the Snyder Cut. I'm not seeing any DC products unless I see the Snyder Cut. Okay. But here's the thing. You won't get to see the Snyder Cut if these other people don't go see the freaking content. That's just the way it works. And it's worked that whole effing time. Let it go. Let people decide what they want to go see. That's why a lot of us should just forget what these people at Rotten Tomatoes say. Laugh in their faces. Laugh in their faces. Go support the Joker. Let that movie win 5, 6, 7 Oscar awards. And laugh in a lot of these guys' face who literally said that the Joker was a crap fest of a movie. You guys are doing it. It won all these Oscars. Where was Endgame in this? Where was Endgame? The movie that you guys straight up said it was the greatest achievement in movie history, and it didn't even win one. But Joker, the one that everyone said it was the most crappiest movie, made no sense. This is not how you're supposed to do. All these negative reviews, and it wins X amount. Here's the thing. Joker has 11 nominations. Endgame has 2. And also, Joker is contending for freaking Best Picture. Endgame's not that. So forget that. It won the Golden Lion. You're telling me an American movie, 1, and 2, it's a superhero movie, and 3, it's a superhero movie about a villain, 1 wins a Golden Lion? That's an achievement. And that's why DC is looking at this and going, you know what? I think we got what we need to do. Let these directors do their freaking movies. Let them do their movies. Let the people judge. Let's just build the franchises. Let's get the content out there. Let Marvel do what they want. That's fine. Kevin Feige's about to run into the ground. I don't care what he says. He's going to run out of goofball ideas. He's pandering. It's pissing certain fans off. Now they're talking about that. Oh, there's a big thing about Black Panther that's making me laugh my head off. It's going to make me laugh. And I want you guys to look it up. It's about the Black Panther. And if it's true, they're done. They're done. DONE. And all DC has to do is just make their movies. Forget what DC's doing. I mean, forget what Marvel's doing. They're fine. They got their audience. And their audience is going to start to dwindle slower and slower because Kevin Feige is looking at fads. He's not looking at structure and stability. He's looking at fads. DC is just say, hey, just make a movie. We'll handle it from here. We'll handle the marketing. We'll handle the merchandising. We just want you to make the picture. And you get like the Mary Sue or in some cases Cinema Blend, and in some cases all these other media type of shows, and they're just there just to lambast the movie. They tell them to go take a hike. So again, Jim Lee has a lot of power, and he can make sure that they're taken well cared of. If Jim Lee did not have the power, why the heck would you want to go talk to him? Jim Lee wouldn't know anything. He's the CCO, Chief Creative Officer. That means he is the go-between between DC Entertainment and DC Comics. Walter Hamada has to talk to Jim Lee about what type of movies can we create, what characters can we use, what's sellable right now. And Jim Lee can tell him, like, I think we could do this movie. I think this could do very well. It's like, okay, let's look over the logistics. Let's look over the logistics. I hate that. Logistics. Let's look over the money. Let's see what things we can basically make this movie sell. And that's why they're successful. But we gotta be calm about it. Now, again, subjective reviews. He has his stance, and I'm not saying his stance is wrong. He wants to see this cut, and he doesn't want to keep pushing forward if nothing's going to happen. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying is the only way we're going to get that cut is we have to support the movies. If you don't want to see it, that's okay. But what's not okay is for you to jump onto social media and say, no, you know what? If they're not going to give me the Snyder Cut, I'm not going to see any of the movies. Screw them. And you keep talking about DC. Okay? So Jim Lee has to sum this up. Jim Lee has the power. He can say what he can move things the way he wants to. He is the go-between. Jeff Johns is still the executive producer on The Flash, but the guy that gets to say okay, yes, K, or no, okay, it's Jim Lee. It's Jim effing Lee. He could tell Greg Berlanti, screw you, we're not doing this. I guarantee you. Listen, Jim Lee loves horror. He loves horror. I guarantee he's trying to get Swamp Thing back. He's trying to figure out a way to make Swamp Thing happen again. That show was phenomenal. You're telling me you're not going to want that back? Yes, they're going to try to bring that show back. Keep writing to DC. Keep writing to Jim Lee. You got a way of getting your information to him? Tell him, dude, bring back Swamp Thing. Bring back Swamp Thing, please. All right, so let's get on to the next one. Let's see what he has to say. He has about exactly 3 minutes left. So we're gonna sum this up and let's see what he has to say. Okay.
Last thing I want to talk about is, again, the poster contest, which doesn't end for another week. So you have a whole week to get your submissions in. I did 2. And I want to talk about my second submission. I was very proud of it. I wanted to do something different, something that was going to catch everyone's eye. So what I decided was, what is this movement about? This movement is about the people, the fans. So I decided to go. I picked like a handful of people, like somewhere between 70 to 100 people that I have noticed through the movement. And it's nothing against other people that I haven't noticed. It's just the kind of the people that I follow or follow me. So it's been a certain group. So I took all of their images, profile pictures, and I put it as my poster because I believe that this is why the Snyder Cut is happening. It's because of the fans, because of the movement. And I'm very proud of that poster. But I knew I would get a lot of people that were on the poster. They'd be very excited. They'd, say your thank yous and everything, which I greatly appreciate. Trust me, I really do. But then I knew I would get people that were pissed at me and mad. It's like, oh, you never noticed me. And a lot of these people that are coming out, I've never even seen your accounts. It doesn't mean you're part of the movement. But what we have to understand is that if I put everyone in the movement on these posters, it's thousands and thousands of people. I would be doing this for weeks and weeks and weeks. It would be ridiculous. I could never make it work. Just to put around 100 people on a poster, it took me about a week. That's like I said, finding everyone's Twitter handle, copying and pasting those pictures. It was a lot of work. But I'm very proud of it. It doesn't mean you guys aren't part of the movement. It just means that these are the people that I have noticed. That's all it is. And every single Twitter that someone has or different accounts, they're all going to notice different people. By what comes up, what gets that's just how it is. So don't get upset if you weren't in my poster. It has nothing against you. I'm not saying you're not a part of the movement. It's not that. It's just the people that I noticed in the movement. That's all it is. And again, I'm very proud of that poster. And if you haven't submitted a poster yet, again, do something with it. Make a poster. It does not matter. I've seen literally people just do drawings and post them on there. I love it. Zach's going to love it. Like, just get them out there. This is a great event for the Snyder Cut. It's coming, guys. February 14th. That day is going to be monumental. I am telling you. I cannot freaking wait. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, guys. So let's get ready. I'm telling you. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. And please subscribe because it helps me. And in return, I can help you. And as always, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, new content's coming to you from Subjective Reviews. And thank you for watching.
Okay. So he was talking about this this new event that Zack Snyder is proposing, basically to create a poster. As much as I'm very well into this movement. I'm in it, but I'm too busy. I am. I will. If I even start this poster and let's say I have to go to work and I have to go to sleep and then I have to focus on work and this and I'll forget all about it. I mean, I have my own personal things. I like playing video games. I gotta catch them on TV shows and such like that. Hell, I'm in the middle of watching the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So I mean, there's a lot of things I'm watching right now and I'll probably forget about it. So I mean, as much as I love it, I won't be a part of it. I hope that maybe my picture's on there. If not, hey, that's cool too. But I think he's doing a really cool thing. I think that him doing this poster and he's right. I mean, if you're gonna get bent out of shape for your picture not being a part of the movement, hey, make your own damn poster. Make your own poster. Put your stamp on it and send it to Zach. I mean, what the hell? Why does he have to do your work for you? You're not paying him. What the hell is that about? He's doing it out of the goodness of his heart and the time that he's putting it into to actually do this damn thing. So, I mean, by you getting flip out, if you're going to flip out at him over this, go take a hike. Like I said, hey, if I'm a part of it, if I'm part of his picture, great, I'll be awesome. But if I'm not, hey, that's great too. That means he probably focused. There was other people who are a little bit more into the movement than I am, and they deserve that credibility. That's cool. That's cool. If one of you guys put my picture on there, great. I'll be very happy with that too. You know, but and I say this to Zach and I say this to everybody else. And again, like I said, I put Zach in that whole cabal that made that made that whole situation with the Justice League even worse. He should have stood up for his movie. He should have put a stipulation before he left. His wife should have put a stipulation before he left. You know, there's a lot of things that could have happened. But Zach is a creator. He's an artist, and he puts his heart on his sleeve. So I don't fully blame him, but I put him in that mix too, that he should have stood up for his movie. I know a lot of us said that. Say, hey man, why'd you just stand up for your own movie? But the thing is, he divorced himself from it. He lost his daughter in a very tragic way, and he's not gonna focus on a movie. He's not. He's not. And I, like I said, I don't fully blame him. I just partially blame him that he could have, you know, once the movie came out and he already started hearing all this stuff from fans, he should be like, hey, what the heck is going on here? And I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. When he didn't watch the movie, we know that he wasn't going to watch the movie because he had a feeling that they were going to mess up his whole movie. But he was like, I don't care. It's a movie, and that's okay. And that's when he started saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start effing with people. I'm gonna start doing some Undertaker stuff. I'm gonna start playing mind games. I'm gonna be playing Go while everybody's playing checkers. He's been manipulating this whole situation since the day he showed that cut on his thumb. The moment he showed that cut on his thumb, it sent ripples because people were wondering what the hell is he talking about. And then one person said, Snyder Cut? Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying that there's actually a different cut of this movie? John Eric Garza said it. Ben Everett has said it. Hell, even Dave Pena said it. Like, what the heck is going on with this? Is that going to be a Snyder Cut involved all of this? And it's been exploding ever since. So I think Zack Snyder's biggest middle finger, his double barrel middle fingers to WB and everybody that was involved with this whole situation was him doing what he's been doing this whole time. Playing these games. Saying, hey, I'm just sending out this. He's sending out small stuff here and there. But I have a huge suspicion, and I think that Subjective Reviews even stated in one of his videos, it got to a point where even W was like, you know what? Why are we fighting this? We stopped seeing smear campaigns. We stopped seeing negative press on this. We stopped seeing a lot of things from the WB camp. I think they're more like, you know what? Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. And they've been just moving forward ever since. They're not fighting it. Because I have, again, deep down inside of me, my gut, and I think a lot of you should think about this. Your gut should be acting, you know what? I think they want to see if this movement is as large as it's saying on social media. If there are so many people wanting to see this cut, that's money. That's money. Doesn't matter if it's on DVD. Doesn't matter if it's on the streaming service. Doesn't matter if it's on HBO Max. Doesn't matter if they do a re-release of Justice League Snyder's edition. It doesn't matter. It sounds like there's money involved on this, and there's a lot involved. That whole video where it was at a soccer event and it says #release a Snyder Cut on their little billboard. That's huge. At a sporting event. Now, here's the biggest thing, and this is me being completely honest. If they do something like this again at the Super Bowl, if it happens at the Super Bowl, that's it. Too many eyes are on that. It's one of the biggest games. You got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs and the 49ers, that's a classic game. That's something we have not seen since the 80s and 70s. We have never seen the Chiefs versus the 49ers at a Super Bowl in a very long time. This is a huge event. The 49ers are finally back in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs are too? Are you out of your... Listen, it doesn't matter if you're a football fan. It really doesn't. If you are a Snyder Cut fan and you don't like football, you should see this as a huge thing. At a sporting event, the biggest sporting event in all of sporting events. This is the Super Bowl. If this was at an NBA national champ, if it was at the biggest NBA game of the year, Jesus God, if these happens at national events, if this happens at March Madness, holy God, That means it's getting out there. People want to see this cut now. People all over are like, what the hell? Hashtag release Snyder Cut. And it's trending. And you start seeing those numbers start going flying off the shelves on Twitter. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's on. There is nothing that can stop it now. People are going to be wanting to know about this cut now. Some people will be like, really? Snyder Cut? Hey, Justice League. All right, let's see what, I mean, some people are like, you know, I really don't care, but, you know, let's see what it's about. Maybe it's something stupid. And they start seeing all these pictures and things of, and it sounds like it's a really cool concept. You got them hooked. But again, the more people you try to get to, you're going to be the ones that are going to go, man, I don't care, dude. I don't care. The movie was stupid anyway. You're going to get those. And that's okay. The thing is, you're not trying to convince them. You're convincing them. You're convincing that other person. And that one person is going to convince another person. And it's going to start to spread. The only thing that can destroy it is misinformation. That's the only thing that can destroy it. Misinformation. And that's where, and I'm not putting myself at that point either. I could say Chris Wong, he's very well into it. Dave Peña's into it. There's something about Dave I want to talk about. Also, DC Film Hub, Comic Movie Marks, they're also on it. I mean, there's guys out there who are on it. They know a lot about this cut. They've done videos since January of 2008. Yeah, January of 2018. They've been doing videos about this damn cut. Like, what the heck happened to this movie? So I'm saying is, we need to calm down. We need to look at this and go, you know what? That's okay. If a release of Snyder Cut billboard happens at the Super Bowl, it's on. It's over. It's over. It's gonna be out there. It's gonna trend. It's gonna be massive levels of trend. I'm hoping someone does it. A soccer event is big. It's big. Soccer is a big sport internationally. It's played almost all over the world. But the Super Bowl is the biggest in the United States. And it's shown all over the world too. For the halftime events, from the halftime show to all the commercials, I'm guarantee you, if the hashtag release of Snyder Cut is shown at the Super Bowl, it's on. Because those announcers are going to say, release a Snyder Cut? What the heck is, oh, it's about that Zack Snyder Justice League movie. They're going to be talking about it. That's it. Hell, if one of the 49ers or a few of them or on both sides have released a Snyder Cut on their at least anywhere on their bodies, it's on. It's over. That thing's gonna be seen. It's seen. It's over. No one can deny that anymore. It's on. So, we got to see how it goes. He's saying February 14th. I'm hoping it comes out that day. I hope that we get an announcement by that day. Hope on Valentine's Day it happens. We get that initial, that's it right there. But I'm not holding my breath only because there's a little bit of rumblings. But I think that the little bit of rumblings is a good thing, but also could be a bad thing. But I think a lot of us should hold our reserves back and think about how to really represent this. How should we say this? And how should we respond if it doesn't come out? And move forward from that because Louis Centrino said we should get it this day. We never got it. We all blame this dude. But what happens if we're the ones that pretty much say no, November it should come out February 14th, and now we have the eggs on our faces because it's not coming out. We shouldn't create the timetable. I'm not even saying WB. Let Zach, Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, or Ann Sarnoff. Let those four people be the ones that initiates when that thing's going to be an announcement, like a big, huge announcement. We shouldn't dictate anything because they can literally say, you know what? Nope. We're going to hold back. We're going to let these people say that no, we're the ones in charge of this, and that's how we should view it. They are in charge. They could say no to the whole thing. And slowly build from there and say, hey, you know what, the Snyder Cut fans out there, if you're not going to be with us on what we're trying to build here, and you just want to see this cut and then move off, then we're not going to release the cut. We're not going to do it. And Zach's not going to do it either. He wants everyone to go watch a lot of these movies. If you don't want to watch it, again, that's okay. But what's not okay is for you to jump on social media and tell other people that you're dimwits for freaking giving them your money. Okay, so I want to move on. I gotta go to I'm at his channel right now. I gotta send him a letter, a message, and say, hey, I'm gonna be using your use this as a way of doing some discussions and add it into my podcast. I am not putting it on there unless he says it's okay. If he says, hey, cool, go for it, man, that's really cool, it's gonna be up on there. But if he says, nah, I don't want that, I'm scrapping it. I'm scrapping it and I'm gonna do another video. But I have to have his okay because it's his property. This is his IP that he put a lot of hard work into. And for me to jump on and even use the website and everything, let's say he jumps on and goes, hey man, I didn't like that you doing that, man. I know in some ways he's gonna say he doesn't care, but I'd rather create a good co-fab with somebody and say, hey man, it's okay if I use this. If he goes, sure, no problem, I'll say, okay, great, cool. It'll be up there so you can see it and see how I reacted to his points. So now let's move on. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about Dave Pena. Now one of his podcasts he put out was that he feels there's a problem in the Snyder Cut, and he feels that he doesn't want to be intertwined with this whole situation with the Snyder Cut. Now I don't know where he went forward with this. I think a lot of us need to really calm down off of people, just because if they have this on the fence type of attitude about things, that doesn't mean that they don't want to see the cut. It also doesn't mean that that they're an enemy. Dave Pena has his own personal opinions, and that's perfectly fine. There's some opinions I do not agree with him on, and there's a plenty amount that I definitely agree with him on. The guy has a connection into the business. I'm not saying that the guy has an intimate level of information that's coming from WB itself. What I'm saying is he just has a connection into the business. So so the person he talks to, they know what's going on. They know they're the ones who are hearing rumblings. So he's going off of that level of knowledge, and that's also okay. That's like any one of us listening to someone like Louis Centrino, and I'm not putting him and Dave Pena in the same camp. I'm not. I'm just saying that he has connections. Dave got connections. Or hell, I forgot that dipstick's name that was on the rap. Him. He has connections into WB, but you can listen to it for a grain of salt. That's the whole point of it. Just listen and just get some information, and you also got to look back on previous things that's been going on, because like I said, a lot of people believe that but BVS was only one movie. No, it was originally two movies, and Justice League was going to be in 2 movies. That was his 5-part arc. But then they said, no, scrap that, make it 1 movie. So he said, okay, I'll make that 1 movie, and I'll make Justice League 3 movies. Introduction of the Justice League, the death of the Justice League nightmare sequence, and the raid on Apocalypse, and them defeating Darkseid. That was 3 movies. 1, 2, 3. That's what I got from it. It could be true, cannot be true, but that's what I got from all of this, and no one was able to dispute the fact that the original concept of BVS was 2 movies. So, but Dave, he's a cool cat too. He's a really good guy. He has his personal opinions. He reminds me of someone I used to know. There's sometimes I argue with him on things, and I did it on Twitter, and I was very, very staunch on Twitter. But then when the whole situation, when people started arguing with John Eric Garza about his comment about that WB, that the only thing that WB cares about is making money, and I don't know why you guys are getting angry about that. We got to show that they can see millions, not a million, but millions of dollars can be used to make this cut successful. They gotta make more money off of this cut. So I said, yeah, I agree with them on it. I do agree with him on it. And then when I saw more toxic fans start coming in and started bashing him and saying he's an idiot, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's against the cut, this and that, I helped defend him. And he's one of those guys that doesn't give two craps. And then over time, I started to see, I'm getting furious, I'm getting angry. And then I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Why am I getting angry? I got a job. I got a day job. I don't need Twitter. So I left Twitter. I slowly left Twitter. And now I am completely off Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. Twitter is absolutely toxic. It is toxic. I can see why Zach's not even anywhere on there. He's on Vero. It's a little more professional. And he can ignore people. He can not even respond. He can respond to this and that. And it's okay too. That's the okayness about it. So the only thing that I'm saying here is that a lot of us go on Twitter because we want to, mingle with the people that know about this cut movement and also get for other people because it's all easier on Twitter. Me personally, I don't want to intervene on Twitter. I really don't, because I got way more important things to do with my life than jumping on Twitter just to get maybe 5 minutes of information. So, and again, a lot of people are misconceptioning the news, and they don't understand what's really been going on lately. And WB wants to make money. We all should know this. WB wants to make money. Also, the fact that WB cannot, and here's the repeat to you, they cannot afford to put money into a Snyder Cut, and they're not going to make a lot of money off of it. They can't. They're going to lose credibility and favor with not just the stockholders, but with AT&T themselves. They got to prove they can make the money. And people can say, well, they're going to make a lot of money. How do you know that? Well, there's millions of people out there. Prove it. And there's nothing wrong in saying that. And Dave is right to say it too. Says, we got to prove it. And for him to consistently himself defend himself on Twitter, or having to, go into this Twitter battle with somebody, yeah, that dude, he's got better things to do. There's more to life than having to defend yourself against a keyboard warrior. And that's the truth. There's way more important things to do with your life. And finally, I in a way, I think that Dave Pena should just kind of relax a little bit, and just do movies. Just do his thing. If it settles down, it settles down. If it doesn't settle down, hey, it doesn't settle down. But he shouldn't get bent out of shape, and I don't think he is. I think he's just getting more frustrated. I think he's getting very frustrated having to defend himself than anything else. And so I truly think that we should all just completely relax and just literally think about what Zach would want from us. Does he want us at each other's throats about this movie? Listen, the guy straight up stated that it's just a movie. It is just a movie. But we made it an impact to say that, hey, we're not fighting for the fact of we want to see this movie. And so Judgment Reviews even stated it. He says, hey, it's about us. I think we're fighting more for Zach's rights. And I think we're fighting for more like Todd Phillips's rights. And even Kathy Yan and Matt Reeves and Patty Jenkins and James Wan, all these directors and Zack Snyder himself, we're fighting for their rights to do the movies that they want and put it out there for public consumption. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Here, as much as myself and maybe even Hawk or a couple of people that diss Birds of Prey, you're going to have that one person. That movie changed their lives. And that's what matters. It truly is. And that's what matters. One gentleman flat out straight up stated, John Eric Garza did a video for him. He stated that his life was, he grew up on Superman, grew up on Super Friends Superman, grew up on Richard Donner Superman. He loves Superman. He was looking to the future, looking for hope and inspiration and wisdom. Then he goes into the army and he sees the worst of humanity, and it made him cold and distant. His life started to go into a downward spiral. I remember this. It was that impactful even to me. He has a child. And now he takes this kid to go see Zack Snyder's Superman, and this man made Superman Superman to him. It made him feel like the way he felt when he was sitting down watching Richard Donner's Superman. It made him feel the same way that he was when he was sitting down watching Super Friends. He felt looking to the future, looking to the tomorrow. He could look into a better, and he got his life out of the gutter. He started becoming a hero in his own right again. And for him, he wanted to see the end of Zack Snyder's movie. Zack Snyder's Superman arc, and he goes to see Justice League, and he's like, wait a minute, this is not, what the heck is this? That's why he's fighting for this cut. He wants to see what Zack Snyder created. That's what this movement's about to me. It's about letting these directors come in and do their movies. We've seen committee-driven movies. Go to Marvel. Those are all committee-driven movies. They're not directed by Taika Waititi. They're not created by the Russo brothers. It's Kevin Feige. It's all Kevin Feige. And that's what people wanted for DC. No, I don't want that. I want what Kathy Ann wants to create. I want what Andy Musichelli wants to do. I want to see what Matt Reeves wants to do. I might have a problem with some of his decisions. That's okay. That makes us different. That makes us human. But what I want to see is this director giving his opinion about these heroes. And let me decide to say, hey, you know what? I can come to a consensus. I like it, but there's certain things. Again, I'm back to Christopher Nolan. I'll go right back to Christopher Nolan. I don't like what Christopher Nolan did with Batman. I don't like it. That's not Batman to me. That's not Bruce Wayne. But it's an interpretation of Bruce Wayne. It's an interpretation of Batman. It's what he believes a realistic guy trying to be Batman in a very messed up Gotham City. That's what he did. And I appreciate Christopher Nolan for doing something like that. That takes guts. And you're telling me, and again, I'm not putting subjective reviews on blast, but it's not about the fans. It really isn't. It's about Andy Musichelli. It's about Kathy Ann. It's about Patty Jenkins. It's about James Wan. It's about Matt Reeves. It's about David Ayers. It's about even James Gunn. And also it's about Zack Snyder. It's about all these directors who are coming into DC who want to do their version of the movie, and let us as people go to these movies and see what they do with these characters. We may not like what they did, but at least we have the guts to go into this movie and say, hey, you know what? I want to see what they have to say. That's what makes the movies subjective. And I'm not yelling at him. No, I'm not yelling at him. I'm yelling at the other people. I'm yelling at the other people that basically don't understand. That's what this movement is truly about to me. It's not about the fans. The fans, in my personal opinion, they're fickle. They're fickle. They're completely fickle. You got Marvel fans on one end who are sitting there saying that Marvel's the best thing since sliced bread, and they think that DC can't make crap. While on the other side, they're sitting there saying that Marvel animated is dirt, but hey, DC could do a really good job. Why can't they get? Because you know why? Because you're fickle. You don't know what the heck you want. On one side, you say that you want great stories, and on the other side, you just want to see superheroes. Well, which way is it? I want to see what the director wants to say. We get The Killing Joke. I watched The Killing Joke. Yeah, it wasn't that good. But at least they were able to tell the story they wanted to tell. At least that. Batman Hush. Oh God. That was a ruination. In my perspective, they ruined the Riddler. I was like, that's not the Riddler. I love the Riddler. Riddler's one of my favorite villains. And I said in the video, I don't want to get into that. Why I love the Riddler. And they ruined him in that movie. They did. They ruined him. So, I mean, that's what this movie is about. It's not about the fans. The fans are fickle. The fans, in some ways, the fans don't care. Other fans, they're very passionate and they want what they want. But you're not going to get them all united under one. They're not, because we're all fickle. We're all different. We all have these different ideas and all these concepts to ourselves that we want what we want to see. And when we don't get what we want, either we get angry or we just get bitter or we just go, next time. And we get more people that are very bitter and upset. And then they go and they just basically try to destroy any levels of credibility, any levels of something that we can also enjoy. Todd Phillips created a phenomenal story, not of the Joker. It was of Arthur Fleck becoming the Joker. A version of the Joker, not the Joker. A version of the Joker. Just like Christian Bale's version is a version of Batman. It's not the Batman. He is a version of the Batman. The Dark Knight Batman. Ben Affleck, same thing, same concept, same freaking interpretation. It's not the Batman. It's an interpretation of the Batman in a universe with other superheroes, superpowered gods, and he's just a man in a spandex suit. So before we do anything, calm down, leave other people alone, go do research. That's the thing. Go do some research. Hey, if I'm wrong, put it down below. And I'll say, hey, hold on a second. Let me do some research first. And I'm going to go look. And I'll say, hey, you know what? You're right. Sorry. Redacted. I am not a person that's going to sit there and be like, no, I'm right. I'm going to do research. Unless I know 100% I'm right. And if you ask, hey, bring me proof, I will show you the proof. Proof is in the pudding. So before anybody starts jumping down my throat, I'm all about the cut. But I don't think Zach is going to want me to spend 90% of my time not able to go to work because, hey, I'm going to tell my boss, hey, you know what? I got to go home because I got to do this whole thing about the Snyder Cut. No, don't worry about me. He'd be like, oh, okay. You're going to get 2 hours. 2 hours? I mean, I got to pay bills. So go talk to the Snyder Cut people. He'll laugh in my face. Like I'm laughing. Because if somebody told me that, I'd be like, really? So you don't want to work? Okay. Bye. Hey, okay, so when do I get my check? Oh, you get check at the end of the week because you're fired. Because that means you're going to be spent because you're not here. You're not going to be here. So I can't give you the hours that you want. Unless you want 8 hours. Well, I got bills to pay. Talk to the Snyder Cut people. Let them pay your bills. So I'm not saying that you guys are unimportant. And Zach's even not saying that. And I'm not saying that to Zach. I will shake Zach's hand. I will say, thank you, man. You created a great Superman. You created a Superman that I want to, if I have children, I want my children to watch your Superman. You created a Batman that still sends chills up my spine. You created the Owls of Gaul, one of my favorite animated movies. That was a phenomenal movie. And if you watch that movie, I will tell you right here and now, Helen Mirren could do a phenomenal Granny Goodness. Flat. That's Granny. That's Granny Goodness. To me, that's Granny Goodness. He created one of the scariest zombie movies I have ever seen in Army of the Dead. Not Army of the Dead, I'm sorry. Dawn of the Dead. And now he's going to come up with the sequel, Army of the Dead. Dude, are you out of your mind? This is ridiculous. This dude has a great level of sensibilities, and he makes it simple, and he does it off of the cuff. He does off the chain redonkulously good. Zack Snyder is a creative genius in my personal opinion. And if you think he's a horrible storyteller, whatever. Whatevs. Doesn't matter to me. I think he's a great storyteller. He's a great visual storyteller. I understand exactly what he's trying to say. Might take a couple of views to watch it to get good understanding. But at least I'm trying to understand what he's trying to say. I'm not saying, what the hell is he talking about? I'm not going to do that. My initial might go, like anybody else. He's a thinking director. He's an actor director. He's a visual storyteller director. He's the total package when it comes down to making a universe. He's the total package. He can plan everything out, every little nuance. He's that methodical. You don't think that he is, and then honestly, you have a bias. And that's what it comes down to. You just have a bias. You just don't like the guy, and you just want to make people feel like they're too stupid to realize that they like some guy. Well, here's the thing: the Russo brothers are dumb. They're dumb. They're not great directors. I said it. They're not great directors. They listened to Kevin Feige told him to go take a hike. They should have told him, take a hike, dude. We did Winter Soldier. We know what we were doing. He said, no, sure, okay. They wanted to make their names popular so they can be able to get more movies. And here's the thing, that's their right. We may not have to like it, but that's their right to do it. They kissed Kevin Feige's ass all day to get. Now they can get whatever movie they want. They made 3 big movies for Marvel. 2 of the biggest movies for Marvel, and one of the bigger ones. They have the right. So I'm gonna cut it here. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. One, today I'm gonna be doing a video review of Arrow. I want to catch up on the last 3 episodes. I gotta get them down. There's a couple things I gotta do around my house first, and then I'm gonna do a video review of Arrow. I gotta send a message to my boy Suggested Reviews. If he sends one back and says, "Hey, cool, go for it," I'm very cool with it. Then I'm gonna have this one up. If not, I'm scrapping this whole thing and I'm gonna basically redo another one, and I'll just do the same talks about certain things and everything else. But I have a feeling he's not gonna really mind. He's like a really cool cat. Heck, he can use mine. He can use some of my videos to do some discussionary stuff. That's no problem with me. And I try my best to show him the level of respect that I hope that somebody will show to me. Again, I'm not. This is not me saying that he's an idiot or anything like that. No, I'm just saying my point of view versus his. Some we can agree on, there's some we don't agree on, and that's okay. That's what makes discussions great. That's what makes you can't have a discussion where everybody keeps agreeing. Hey, the sky's blue. Yeah, that's true. Okay, cool. Hey, you know what? Water tastes very wet. Yeah. That sounds really good. That makes it boring. It makes it really boring. But I don't want to have it where he's arguing and I'm trying to discuss. That there's no debating here. We need to discuss. We need to talk rationally and talk in a way that makes sense so people can go, "Oh, okay, I can see his point. I can see his point." And also there's and he's even said it, and I disagree with him. He says I have a phenomenal amount of knowledge about comic books. I really don't. There's some I kind of get a little iffy on, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't give out, again, misinformation. I don't want to give out misinformation when it comes to comic books. I want to be almost exact. I want to be 95% accurate on it. And there's a lot I am, and there's a lot I'm not too sure. There's a lot of times when you hear me and Hawk discuss it, he assures me, and I go, I think so, yeah. So we try to make sure that we're exact. He and I do not want to give out misinformation about comic books. We don't want to do that. Okay, some of our knowledge, my knowledge comes from 80s and 90s. He has created pretty much a little bit before 80s and a good chunk of the 90s. And that's for both brands. I just have a very notch when it comes down to a lot amount about the DC characters, because I love DC. I love Marvel. I love Marvel too, but I grew up more on DC than I did on Marvel. It was X-Men, Spider-Man, a little bit of Hulk, and a very little bit of Thor. Very little bit of Thor. But I know a good amount about the X-Men. I know a great amount about Spider-Man. There's a lot I know about Spider-Man. And when it comes to DC, I know a great amount about Batman. I'm not 100% because I didn't read some of his classic stuff. I read a lot more about Spider-Man's classic stuff than I did Batman's. I got to go do some research on. And that's why I love this DC streaming service, because it gives me the damn comic books. I can sit back and read the freaking comic books. I just don't understand. Read the comic books. It's right there. Go pay $8. Pay $8 a month. You get comic books. All of it. Not all of it, but you get a good amount. You can sit back and just read. You can read the whole Crisis event. You can read the original Crisis event. You can read the countdown to 50, the countdown to Final Crisis, the whole 52 comics. You can read Batman R.I.P. You can read them. They're all there. You can understand why when they made the concept of Jared Leto's Joker, he was closer to Batman R.I.P.'s version of Joker. The slick back hair. He was wearing the suspenders with the wingtips. He was dressed more like a 1920s gangster. And I love that version of Joker. He had a long black trench coat, and he wore the big long fedora hat that he does in Batman the Animated Series. And he carried a switch, and he carried a straight blade. Because he was carving smiles in people's faces. And he had a bullet hole right here in his head because Jason Todd put a bullet right there in his head. And Joker survived. Ridiculous. Like I said, I have a great amount of knowledge of him because I read the damn books. Some of them may be a very long time ago, and I can get muddled on it. I'm willing to admit it. But I'm not 100% wrong. I'm not. So please. And for him, he has more knowledge when it comes down to a lot more of what's integral into the cut. Because he goes to a lot of other places and read the information and brings that information to his channel. I don't normally do that. I got a 40-hour job, and that's more important to me. I love my job there. I love it. And I got to pay more attention to that because that's a roof over my head. That's how I get my internet. That's how I get my stuff out to you guys. So I hope that you guys understand that. Okay? So, the whole Birds of Prey. Like I said, the whole Birds of Prey, I'm going to give it a chance. I want to give this a chance. I want to look at this. I want to look at this and go, hey, you know what? Let me see what they have to say. And again, if it's crap, I will say it's crap. I really say I will. I will legitimately say it's crap. I will say that, hey, you know what? Go take a hike. This movie is terrible. But I think that it's going to be an entertaining movie. I think that Margot Robbie's going to keep it wacky enough to keep you entertaining, and you could bypass a lot of the bad stuff that they put in there. That if there's certain things in there that trouble you, like if you have a problem with Black Mask being gay, we have to see how they run with it. Same goes for Victor Zsasz, and I hope that they're not in this weird gay relationship. It'll completely throw me off. It'll throw me off. It will throw Hawk off. He will get livid. I know I will get mad. It's like, oh my God, what the heck are they doing here? So we have to see how this is, and also we gotta look at the deepness of it. I think that he said, I think it was either Subjective or Chris Wong that said that this movie could be done from Harley's point of view. She may truly think that Adrian Adonis is a gay guy, and this is from her point of view. We don't know. So we got to see how this movie is interpreted, and we got to see how they do it. And I hope that they, in a way, give us an understanding, an explanation about why there's no Batman in Gotham City. Why is there no Batman in Gotham City? Because if this might not even be a sequel to Suicide Squad. This might not be a sequel to Suicide Squad. This might be from a different universe. So we have to see. So, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Hit that bell. I'll try to get some videos out. Again, I do not do a lot of Snyder Cut news unless there's a lot of wave of things going on. I've heard about the poster. I'm not going to participate into it. I will forget about it. I'm not a drawer. I'm not a person that does a lot of Adobe. I know how to use it. I just don't use it. And also, I got a 40-hour job, and I got TV shows to catch up on. There's a lot of things I got to do. So I'm leaving that to people who have the time to do it, and I hope that you guys give some great creative looks to Zack Snyder, because honestly, if he's doing something like this, that means it's giving him understanding, and it's showing. Honestly, you guys got to look at this. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. The more people that show this off, that gives more credibility that there's more people out there that want to see this cut. So tell your friends. Tell everybody, get it out there. The more people that showcases these posters to Zach, and Zach goes through them all and sees them and picks all these out and and everything else, that's more credibility to more people giving out that fresh money to see the cut. That's what it's about. Think about it. Look at all the money he rose for his awareness. He rose his that goal, that over $20,000 goal in a week. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in a week. Either a week or less than a week. And even though that's still ridiculous. And again, there's not many people that will give out the money. There's not many people that will give out the money, and that's understandable. They don't want to give their money to certain charities, and that's okay. That's okay. And Zach understands that too. It's not like you're not breaking his feelings. It's more of the fact is he understands. He completely understands. There's some people that say I'm not giving him my money, or there's some people that says I just don't want to give my money to charities. He understands from all of it. The ones that did give, he's very appreciative of. So let's just calm down. The cut will happen. It will happen. But it probably won't happen on the 14th. Only because we're setting the timetable. That's not how it goes. They're the ones that set the timetable. And that's how we should look at it. We should just be like appreciative. They're now not fighting us anymore. They're not putting out hit pieces. They're not trying to attack our character. They're not trying to present us in a different like we're crazy loons screaming to the full moon. They're treating us as individuals that know that they want this cut. They want this. They don't want any more negative press. We've shown we're not going to go away. And we're being peaceful about it. Peace through strength. And that's how it works. And it will work. We will see this cut. I'm hoping it'll be on the 14th. I hope we get an announcement on the 14th. That's the main thing. I hope we get an announcement on the 14th. But if we don't get it on the 14th, we get nothing on the 14th, that doesn't mean that WB is saying, no, screw you, go away, just give us your money. They're not saying that. What they're saying is, we need to dictate how we're going to do this. There's a game plan involved. And that's how they're doing it. And we need to basically just keep on doing the promotions. We need to showcase that there's more people in this movement than what is being shown. That's it. So like I said, hit that bell and I'll get any more videos out there. And man, I'm sorry I haven't been doing any videos, but I will get some more out there. You guys have a great one, and you have a great day. Bye.